This lecture is about consistency in writing. And there's a variety of inconsistent errors that crop up in student writing. And one of probably the biggest one has to do with taking out the I and the U in a paper. But that's not the only form of consistency we're looking at here. All right, so consistency in a paper means tense. All right, so your paper is in one tense, so either past tense or present tense. All right, your paper has one perspective. So if you're writing a story, you're telling it from the first perspective or the second perspective, the third perspective, omniscient, right? Or you are writing an argument and you're writing it in third person, all right, which means you don't say you or I. All right, the third form of consistency has to do with singular plural agreement, and that can be in terms of nouns and verbs. That can be in terms of referring back to with a pronoun. And so we're going to talk about those things here. All right, so first, let's talk about perspective. All right, so first person is told from your personal experience. All right, and there are lots of ways you're going to use this. You can use them in narratives, editorials, introductions. Okay. So here's an example. The day I left London was one of the best days of my life. All right, that's the I. Second person is the you. All right, it's written usually somebody specific, so it's the you singular. All right, so for example, advice columns, process analysis essays. All right, a lot of times students write you meaning like all y'all, not just some of y'all, but all y'all, and you're thinking like you as in the plural. But as a reader, it reads as if you are writing directly to a singular person. And sometimes that's hilarious. As a teacher, I get to write snarky comments on the sides of papers with that. And so it's generally best to avoid second person in almost all of your college writing. All right, third person is more formal. It's written for a general public. Um, the immigration debate is heated this election year is written in the third person. If it were in the first person, it would say, I think the immigration debate is heated this election year. And a lot of times students are told to write something in the third person and they're like, but it's my opinion. How can I do that without writing I think or I believe or I feel? And so what I tell them is go ahead and write I think, I feel, I believe, and then in the revision cross those all out. Because the immigration debate is heated this election year it's your argument. All right, we know it's your argument. Your name's on the paper. All right, and now you're going to support your essay about the immigration debate. Okay, and that's all third person. Verb tense has to do with making sure that when you're writing consistently about the same time period. All right, and so if you're writing in the present tense, you want to write consistently in the present tense, and if you're writing in the past tense, you want to be consistent in the past tense. So here's our bad example. I went dancing this weekend, and as I was getting my groove on, this guy steps into my space and shouts, "Hey, hey, baby." All right, and that's wrong. That's wrong because went is past tense, was is past tense, but steps is present tense, and shouts is present tense. So to change that, I went dancing, and as I was getting my groove on, this guy stepped, past tense, into my space and shouted, past tense, "Hey, hey, baby." All right, and it's pretty simple to do, but you do need to be aware of it. All right, agreement. Lots of agreement issues. So if a sentence starts with a singular subject, that subject should be referred to singular throughout. All right, and if it's plural, it should be plural throughout. And a lot of times students start with the singular and then refer back to the singular in the plural. All right, so here's your example. If a girl comes to talk to you and they're all like, "You need to fix your nails," smack her. All right, if a girl, singular, comes to talk to you and they're, this is plural, they are, all like, "You need to fix your nails," and then back here to smack her. So like this one girl gets multiple personality disorder, all right, and all of her multiple personalities tell you that your nails suck, and then you go back and just smack the singular person. That not so clear. So you want to make that all consistently singular. If a girl comes to talk to you and she is all like, "You need to fix your nails," smack her. Here are some common errors that I see. When a person goes deaf, they often stop speaking. All right, so again, we got that singular person. All right, and then referring back to that singular person as plural, as they. No, no, they're not. He or she goes, often stops speaking. All right, you could also do it the other way. When people go deaf, they often stop speaking. But again, then they're both plural, and that's often the easier way of handling it. It hasn't came yet. All right, now I love this statement as somebody who has immigrated to the Ozarks. I find this phrase charming because it has a logic to it. It hasn't came yet. When it comes, it will have came, but has not yet came, so therefore it hasn't came yet. However, the more correct in standard writing is it hasn't come yet. All right, because it needs to be all consistently present tense. Another one I hear a lot is we wasn't doing too good. And that makes my heart crumble a little bit. We weren't doing too well. All right. If somebody comes up to me and says, well, I ask, how are you doing? And they say, well, I'm doing good. I always want to ask, well, are you volunteering? Where are you volunteering? Where are you doing this good? All right. If I'm asking about your health and your well-being, then, oh, I'm doing pretty well. And so you want that to be consistently correct. And I know that this is the lecture that always gets me in trouble because somebody always comes along and says, who does she think she is telling me how to talk? And I'm not telling you how to talk, but I am telling you that it is important that in your writing you write more formally. And I want you to be able to write formally for all audiences. And to that end, here is your practice. So your job is to fix this up and print it out. My friends and I likes to eat out. He spend hours trying to figure out where to goes though. When we was teenager, we used to sat on Phil's driveways debating where to go, and then we are ending up at Denny's. That are why you call me group the greasy spoon. Your job? Fix this so it reads correctly. Good luck.